What's up, folks? In this video, I'm going to talk to you about work ethic, okay? A topic that was brought to me by a group of professionals. We have these wonderful gatherings where these virtual roundtables, okay? It used to be about 50-50, but now it's pretty much virtual roundtables where I'm speaking to entrepreneurs, startups, just folks that I work with, and we kind of collaborate with different ideas, strategize, and share best practices. The topic of work ethic came up, and one of the things that was interesting is that as a group, they all agreed that work ethic, especially this year, has been a tremendous challenge for both leaders and managers of organizations and startups and entrepreneurs who are looking to scale their business. The concept of work ethic has been a very, very, very big challenge. And as you continue to evolve, or as we all have continued to evolve in this pandemic and work from home, the idea of working from home has been great. Many folks have captured it and embraced it and have actually propelled and excelled rather in that space. But also there's been a lot of challenges. There's been a lot of distractions. There's been a lot of things that have kind of slowed the process down or made people less efficient or inefficient. And in turn, then organizations started having challenges. So overall, the concept here is I want to talk about work ethic and how you can improve your work ethic. So we're going to get into 8 ways on improving your work ethic. Before we get into number 1, let me talk about one thing here. What is work ethic? In terms of Wikipedia, what does work ethic mean? Okay, because we got to understand where it's coming from, okay? And by the way, we all want to strive to have better work ethic. It doesn't mean work ethic as in, you just want the employee to work harder for the man, or you want the person to just work harder for their pay. That's not what I'm saying here, okay? Work ethic is both for the employee. Work ethic is for the student. You're a college student right now listening to this video. You need to start improving now your work ethic, and your work is probably your schooling, your schoolwork, or maybe if you're in sports, it's training hard and getting ready for that. So work ethic really stems and is involved in all parts, in all aspects of life, okay? So where you are right now and where you're going. Okay, so if you're in school and then you're going to get off into the professional world, work ethic is critical, and having the right work ethic is important. If you're already in the workforce, okay, knowing how to win in the game stems from having a great work ethic, okay? Commitment, dedication, discipline, which we'll get into, again, 8 ways of improving your work ethic. But I want to get started again by looking at Wikipedia and seeing what is work ethic, okay? What do they say it is? What does it mean? It's a belief, okay? Work ethic is a belief that hard work and diligence have a moral benefit and an inherent ability, virtue or value to strengthen character and individual abilities. It is a set of values centered on importance of work and manifested by determination or desire to work hard. Okay? Did you hear what I just said? It is a set of values centered on importance of work and manifested by determination or desire to work hard. Okay? It is important that you have that belief in you so that you could become the best athlete, so that you could become the best vice president of sales, so that you could become the best business development executive, so that you could become the best inside sales representative. It is important that you have the skills and the framework around improving your work ethic so that you could be the best that you can be for that role, that profession, that career. And when you continue to elevate your game and improve where you are, naturally, you're acquiring the skills. Naturally, you end up excelling in other areas of your life, ultimately getting and becoming who it is that you want to become, achieving your full potential. Let's get started. Point number 1, treat yourself right. I've done some research. I urge you to do it yourself. The folks that have the best work ethic, the folks that actually go out and accomplish and work hard and strive, you cannot get there without treating yourself right, okay? You have to treat yourself right. Now, what do I mean by treat yourself right? Nutrition. H2O, water, nutrition, okay? What you eat, Okay? How many times you eat. Get yourself into a great schedule. Understand that nutrition is critical. Exercise is absolutely important. I'm not saying every day. You could go check my other videos out, especially the one that speaks about time. Don't make excuses and say you don't have time. You have 1,440 minutes in a day. Don't make excuses. You have time. Exercise is critical. Okay? If you work at home, here's a great idea. Do a walking meeting. If you're going to do a Zoom call and you don't have to be on video, take it outside and go for a walk. Get some of that blood flow going. Treat yourself right. If you buy a if you buy a house and you're moving in with your family and you know that the plumbing is just not right in the first floor bathroom, the kitchen, you could really reface the cabinets. What do? Do you just move in and then live there with your family and you don't do any improvements, or do you treat it right? Do you take care of your surroundings? Do you take care of your property so that you could live comfortably and enjoy your stay? But this property and this stay you don't take care of? How does that make any sense? Don't justify laziness, okay? Treat yourself right. Nutrition, exercise, okay? Meditate. Breathing patterns, relax. Read. Self-educate. Self-development. There's constant examples of folks out there that continue to say, formal education will make you a living, and self-education will make you a fortune. There's constant examples of professionals that are like that. Okay? Treat yourself right. Read. Pray. Okay? Connect with your spirit. You need to make sure that you're taking care of self in order to improve everything else around you on this earth. It's impossible. It's impossible because it's either short-lived and it's not sustainable to have a fantastic work ethic without having step number one, which is taking care of yourself. Number two, eliminate distractions. What do I mean about distractions? Do I mean, kids running around? That's one thing if you're working from home, and a lot of folks are working from home, so I'm speaking to you, but I'm also speaking to those who work at the office. Okay? Eliminate distractions means, this right here, this is the great money maker, but this is also the great destruction of making money. Okay, if you're in sales and you need to be on this, good. Make sure it's making you money and it's not costing you $60, $70 a month. Close great deals, call people on time, be effective. But if you have alerts, social media alerts, YouTube subscription alerts, which definitely subscribe to my channel, but if you have alerts, constant distractions coming at you on a frequent basis, news alerts, all media is garbage if it's not controlled. It's not meant to control you. You're meant to control the media. Have a scheduled time when you seek to go and distract your mind a little bit and maybe check up on something on the internet or whatnot. But you cannot allow alerts to continue to bombard you. Because if you allow the Facebook alerts, Instagram alerts, Twitter alerts, Snapchat alerts, TikTok alerts, YouTube, Fox News, CNN, CNBC, if you allow all those alerts to continue to hit you on a frequent basis, folks, you have no time to work. You have no time to have work ethic. You have no time to have work because you're going to constantly be busy on, keeping up with what's coming at you. So in order to have the right work ethic, you must eliminate distractions. If you're working from home, the kitchen could be a distraction. So schedule when you're going to go and get yourself a snack or your lunch or your water. Early on, when I was working from home, right when this whole pandemic thing started, for instance, and even when somebody's watching this video years from now when the pandemic is a distant memory. But again, if you are working from home, schedule yourself the time when you're going to go into the kitchen. So how did I do it? I would get to the kitchen after I did my quick workout around the neighborhood. I would get to the kitchen around 6:15 in the morning. And I would fill up a gallon of water and I'd bring a cup and I'd put that in my office. So now I knew I don't have to get up to go get water. Because many a times when you get up to go get water in the kitchen, what happens? There's that cookie jar, there's a little bit of leftovers that taste so good. There might be some children in the house, if they were homeschooled or home from school, that then want to pull you in different directions. So you want to make sure you mitigate and eliminate your exposure to areas that are critically distracting. Okay, whether it's family or things to eat or anything. Okay, so again, Point number 2, eliminate your distractions. All media is very much not going to help you when it comes to accomplishing your goals. And eliminate some of the rooms and areas you have to go to. Eliminate distractions. Number 3, be reliable. What do I mean by be reliable? Make sure that the voice of your colleagues' feedback of you is that I could count on him. I could count on her. When Johnny says he's going to get it done, he gets it done. When Johnny says he wants to meet at 10, he meets at 10. When Johnny schedules this, it happens. When he says that, it's done. I'm not saying there isn't room for error or a mistake or a mishap. What I'm saying here is make sure that the overwhelming feeling and understanding of who you are as a person is a reliable one. When you're working for someone and you have a leader and you have a manager, a boss, a vice president that you report to, you want to make sure that he looks at you or she looks at you and basically believes and understands that you're consistently producing. You're a reliable person within that team to achieve the ultimate goal of that organization. Okay? So being reliable means you have to get great at scheduling. You have to understand deadlines. You have to manage your calendar. You have to manage your time effectively. But it's a perfect segue to my next one, which is, but be flexible. So point number 4 is be flexible. Don't allow yourself to get extremely frustrated about what's happening throughout your day and your setbacks. Okay? Recognize that there are some things that have deadlines and you have to get it done on time. Then you focus that energy and you get it done. Get it done, because that's what being reliable is about. Being flexible is understanding that you have an ultimate goal to do a specific thing or a task or a report or something by a certain time, ideally. But for some reason, there were distractions that came your way, or there were other important things that came your way at work that you needed to address. That just because you didn't finish it on time doesn't mean now that you have to internalize it and gain frustration and anxiety and get all tensed up and allow it to consume your day. Absolutely not. Be flexible and recognize, you know what? Especially folks who work from home, you have to do this. This is important to get done today, but if I don't get it done by 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, it's okay. As long as I address it and I make sure that I get it done by 8 or 9. Maybe you have to wait a little bit longer and throughout the evening, tuck your kids away to bed, kiss your wife or your husband, on the couch and say, hey, I'll be right back. I got to go finish something for 30 minutes. But be flexible and communicate that flexibility. If you're working from home, communicate the flexibility, communicate the need so that you're all working together as a team, which is critical. That communication part is critical so that there is intention as well there. Okay? Again, number 4 is be flexible. Let's get to number 5. Have integrity. It is important to know that you need to have integrity in order for everyone to respect you, which is point number 6. Okay? Back to 5 is have a high morals. Increase your standards. You need to have principles. You need to have what's called non-negotiables. Lying, cheating, stealing, making things up, writing false reports, whether it's you're a salesperson and you're speaking to a prospect and you're trying to encourage that person to take that next step, to sign the contract, to commit to buying your services. Don't lie to them and say that this person did this or that person did that. If you're selling to Coca-Cola, don't say that Pepsi just did it with you without having, true, actual deals with that organization. You need to understand that there's a line. And you need to have non-negotiables because it's all going to catch up to you. It will all catch up to you. Point number 6, as I said, was you need to seek respect. Not likability, respect. I've always said this, a mentor of mine said this to me many, many, many moons ago, which is you do not need to be liked by everyone in your organization. You need to be respected by everyone in your organization. And what happens naturally is, after a certain period of time, when respect is consistent and is earned, they start to like you and like you even better. If you always seek to be liked by everyone, if you always seek to be accepted by everyone, trust me when I tell you, your integrity will end up being compromised one day. Because you always want to be liked, and the minute somebody challenges you to basically challenge your non-negotiable or wrestle with some of your principles, You end up leaning on the side of, well, I want to be liked, so I will turn a blind eye, or I will just push this a little bit, or I will just push that a little bit. Folks, you can't do that. Okay, you cannot do that. Especially folks who are startups, entrepreneurs, and folks who are leading teams, you cannot mess around with your non-negotiables. So make sure that you're always seeking respect. And when you seek respect, you give respect, you earn respect. It allows for a culture and an environment that is extremely successful. Point number 7, you need to be encouraged by mistakes. You really do. You need to be encouraged by mistakes. You need to recognize that failing forward is also a part of success, rather than always hitting your wins, and leaving no room for error. You need to understand that mistakes means that what? You're trying. Mistakes means that you're trying. Don't stay and don't allow yourself to sit there and stress about the fact that something didn't go right and you made a mistake and it consumes your day. Here's an example. This is an iPhone. It's a great phone. It works very well. If I sit there and I start sending a text out and I'm moving fairly quickly with that text and then I hit send and it misspells 3 or 4 words, is this garbage now? Should I throw the phone away for the rest of the day? Because it made a mistake? Because I was trying to type a certain word out, but this made a mistake, so now is this garbage? See, that's how you need to view yourself. That just because you make a mistake doesn't mean now that the whole day is wasted. It just means you need to backtrack a little bit, regroup, recognize where the error happened, and move forward. So what do you do when you make a mistake on your phone? What do? You might quickly send another text message with an asterisk correcting what you made. You backtracked for a second, identified the mistake, and moved on. Many people who start to do the nutrition thing and start to eat right or do the exercise, all of a sudden they missed an exercise, routine. They missed the day. They ate 3 Oreo cookies and now it's like, forget it. Where's the beer? Where's the cheese? Give me the couch and the TV. I'm done. They didn't get to close a deal. They're in sales. They had a really hot opportunity. It didn't close. Forget it. I'm not made for this. This sucks. I can't do this anymore. No. You have to recognize that failing is okay. Be encouraged by mistakes. Be encouraged by not hitting what it is that you wanted to accomplish right then and there, but identify that as areas of opportunity and bridge that gap. Bridge that gap, okay? And again, just because you make a mistake on your phone doesn't mean your phone is garbage. Just because you make a mistake with what you've done that day or that minute or that moment doesn't mean that now your day is garbage or that you're garbage. Remember that. Point number 8, which is absolutely, I believe, the best and the most important point of all this, that if you really truly acknowledge this point, it encompasses everything I just mentioned here. That's why I wanted to end with this, but I want you to really make this your number one focus. You need to recognize that you're a product in the open competitive market. You need to understand that you are a product in the open market. What do I mean by that? A product in the open market is like a commodity. It goes up and down in value based on supply and demand. And what makes a product extremely valuable? When the demand exceeds the supply. When the demand exceeds the supply. If you view yourself like a product in the open market, what ends up happening is you try to figure out a way to what? Increase your value. How do you increase your value? By treating yourself right. Self-education, training, certifications, getting on top of your game, learning how to close deals, learning how to improve your sales game, learning your communication skills, learning your negotiating skills, learning your cold calling skills. Okay? Depending on what career, what profession you have, you need to capitalize on all this. Know how to utilize technology, adapt to technology, elevate your game in all different areas of what you're doing. If you're an athlete, you need to improve your sports, your exercise, your speed, your agility. Okay? If you're a teacher, you need to improve the ability of leveraging technology and being captivating while working with maybe students that are in front of you and students that are on the screen who are, doing Zoom from home or video conferencing from home. The net here is when you truly view yourself as a product in the open market and you want to stay competitive and you want to be unique and you want to have extreme value in the marketplace, you need to increase that value by what? By separating yourself from the competition. And the only way to do that is by treating yourself right, is by eliminating distractions so you're super productive and efficient. Is by being reliable so you know you're going to get it done when you say you get it done, because that's important. Is by making sure that you're flexible so that you always stay with the right mindset and not allow yourself to be bogged down with frustration and anxiety. It's about making sure that you have the right level of integrity, because then you're moving at the right pace, making the right decisions, working with the right people. People that have integrity attract people with integrity. It's seeking respect. It's being known that you're always respected and you're giving respect. And it's also being encouraged by making mistakes and recognizing that you're going to fail forward. See, all of this circles back to making sure that you're challenging yourself and recognizing yourself as a product in the open market. And another thing is, if you're working for an organization, if you're an employee working for an organization, you're the same. It's the same thing. How do companies stay in business? By turning a profit. How do companies turn a profit? By having a very successful team work within the process that the organization has put in place. So in order for even if you're in operations, if you work in the back office, if you're an executive assistant, if you're in HR, if you're in entertainment, if you're working in supply chain or whatever areas you're working, continue to think about yourself as a product in the open market and continue to evaluate your value. Are you returning a very good multiple to your organization? Well, Johnny, I don't work in sales, so I don't really have a certain amount of money that I bring into the company. Yes, you do. I'm not saying that it's directly tied to a transaction. What I'm saying is, by delivering what's expected of you and then some, is returning a multiple on the investment. If a company's paying you $50,000, ask yourself, am I bringing $500,000 worth of services and efficiency and work and culture and energy to the company? All of that has its own return. If somebody's paying you, $100,000, you need to say, am I bringing $1 million worth? Multiply it by 10, multiply it by 20. Focus and think about that, and trust me, you won't find yourself on the unemployment line. In fact, you will find yourself on the desks of recruiters, because they'll constantly be going after talent like yourself. Okay? And working with the recruiting organizations as well out there, I can tell you right now, many companies are looking for that. Folks, focus on delivering value and increase your net worth. Subscribe to my channel, click the link below, click subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you for stopping by.